50 interview questions and answers. Topic: Google Firestore. Level: beginner to intermediate. Question 1. What is Google Firestore?
Firestore is a fully managed NoSQL database for storing and syncing data in real time.
Question 2. What are the main differences between Firestore and Firebase real-time database?
Firestore supports more complex queries, structured data, and scales better for large applications.
Question 3. What types of data structures does Firestore support?
Firestore supports documents, collections, arrays, maps, strings, numbers, booleans, and timestamps.
Question 4. What is a Firestore document?
A document is a single record that contains fields and values, similar to a row in a database.
Question 5. What is a Firestore collection?
A collection is a group of documents, similar to a table in a relational database.
Question 6. How do you create a document in Firestore?
You can create a document using the Firebase SDK or GCP console and provide the fields and values.
Question 7. What is a Firestore reference?
A reference points to a specific document or collection in the database.
Question 8. How do you read data from Firestore?
You can read data using GET methods in the SDK, querying by document or collection.
Question 9. How do you update a document in Firestore?
Use the update method to modify specific fields of a document without overwriting the entire document.
Question 10. What is Firestore offline persistence?
Firestore can cache data locally on devices so apps can read and write data offline.
Question 11. How do Firestore transactions work?
Transactions allow multiple read and write operations to be executed atomically.
Question 12. What is a batched write in Firestore?
Batched writes let you perform multiple write operations at once, but they are not atomic.
Question 13. How do you delete a document in Firestore?
Use the delete method on a document reference to remove it from the collection.
Question 14. What are subcollections in Firestore?
Subcollections are collections that exist within a document, allowing nested data.
Question 15. How do you query Firestore collections?
Use where, order by, and limit methods to filter and sort documents in a collection.
Question 16. What is the difference between collection group queries and regular queries?
Collection group queries search all collections with the same name across the database.
Question 17. How do you paginate Firestore query results?
Use start at, start after, end at, and end before methods to paginate results.
Question 18. What is a Firestore index?
Indexes help Firestore execute queries efficiently by storing sorted data.
Question 19. What are composite indexes?
Composite indexes combine multiple fields to support complex queries.
Question 20. What is a single field index?
Single field indexes allow queries on a single field and are created automatically.
Question 21. How do you handle large queries in Firestore?
Use pagination, indexes, and filters to handle large datasets efficiently.
Question 22. What is Firestore security rules?
Security rules define who can read or write data and under what conditions.
Question 23. How do you implement role-based access in Firestore?
Use custom claims in Firebase authentication and security rules to control access.
Question 24. What is Firestore real-time updates?
Firestore can push updates to clients in real time when data changes.
Question 25. How do listeners work in Firestore?
Listeners subscribe to documents or collections and receive updates automatically.
Question 26. How do you handle offline writes in Firestore?
Firestore caches writes locally and syncs them to the server when online.
Question 27. What is the difference between automatic and manual IDs in Firestore?
Automatic IDs are generated by Firestore. Manual IDs are provided by the developer.
Question 28. How do you structure Firestore data for scalability?
Use shallow collections, subcollections, and avoid large arrays or deeply nested data.
Question 29. What is the maximum size of a Firestore document?
A Firestore document can be up to 1 megabyte in size.
Question 30. What are the best practices for Firestore queries?
Use indexes, limit queries, avoid fetching large collections, and use efficient filters.
Question 31. How do you model many-to-many relationships in Firestore?
Use join collections, reference arrays, or subcollections to model relationships.
Question 32. How do you model one-to-many relationships in Firestore?
Use subcollections or arrays of references in documents.
Question 33. What is Firestore pricing based on?
Pricing is based on reads, writes, deletes, storage, and network bandwidth.
Question 34. How do you back up Firestore data?
Use Firestore export to GCS or scheduled automated backups.
Question 35. How do you restore Firestore data?
Use Firestore import from GCS to restore data from a backup.
Question 36. What is the difference between Firestore native mode and datastore mode?
Native mode supports real-time updates and mobile SDKs. Datastore mode is for legacy apps and is more like a traditional NoSQL database.
Question 37. How do you migrate from datastore to Firestore?
Use the Firestore datastore mode import tools or export-import process.
Question 38. What is Firestore multi-region replication?
Data is automatically replicated across multiple regions for durability and availability.
Question 39. How do you handle high write throughput in Firestore?
Use shard counters, avoid hotspots, and distribute writes across documents.
Question 40. What is the difference between strong consistency and eventual consistency in Firestore?
Firestore provides strong consistency for single documents and queries with indexes.
Question 41. How do you monitor Firestore performance?
Use Firebase performance monitoring and cloud monitoring metrics for usage and latency.
Question 42. How do you secure sensitive fields in Firestore?
Use security rules to restrict access to sensitive fields or encrypt data before storing.
Question 43. How do Firestore security rules evaluate data?
Rules evaluate the request context, data in the database, and conditions written in rules.
Question 44. What is a Firestore transaction limit?
Transactions can read up to 500 documents and have a maximum of 270 seconds execution time.
Question 45. How do you handle Firestore query failures?
Use retries with exponential backoff to handle temporary failures.
Question 46. What is Firestore offline persistence for web?
Firestore can cache data in the browser and sync automatically when online.
Question 47. How do you enable offline persistence in Android Firestore?
Use Set Persistence Enabled, True, in the Firebase Firestore settings.
Question 48. What is Firestore Cloud Function integration?
You can trigger cloud functions when documents are created, updated, or deleted.
Question 49. How do you handle Firestore query limits?
Use pagination, limit, and indexes to manage query size.
Question 50. What is Firestore batch get?
Batch get allows reading multiple documents at once to reduce network calls.
Question 51. How do you index nested fields in Firestore?
Define a composite index for nested fields in the console or using index configuration.
Question 52. How do you prevent Firestore hotspots?
Distribute rights across multiple documents and avoid sequential IDs.
Question 53. What are Firestore offline write limitations?
Local writes can be cached, but very large operations may fail if memory exceeds limits.
Question 54. How do you test Firestore security rules?
Use the Firebase emulator suite or the rules simulator in the console.
That's the end of Google Firestore. Explore more interview questions and answers on our channel, Interview Guru. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more learning content.